This year's been a rough year for a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay, we should be live. You should be ready to go.
All right. Good afternoon. We have 4:30. I'm going to call today's meeting, Wednesday, November 19th, board meeting to order. We have all three members present, the township trustees present, and we have deputy chief of the fire department present as well. In your packet that we had to look over, I just need a motion made for the past minutes to accept those, or have any questions upon that.
I'll make a motion we accept them as printed.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, there's none. Also in your packet, just need your initials on the bank statements as well. We don't have any old business to discuss, so we're just going to go straight to the new business. And Mr. Trustee, do you want to talk about this?
So CVET, the changes are going to require going forward a board resolution if we wanted to disperse them to other funds. Sue and I have talked. I'm good with continuing right now. If you want to speak on it, Sue.
I've got
Yeah.
in the past, see that when we would get the release from the county, it would tell us so much would go into this bucket, so much go into CUME, so much go into fire, so much go into township assistance, so much would go into township. And it would tell us which one it had to go into. The way the law changed, basically it has to go into township general, or we have to have the board say, this is where it's going.
Okay.
From what I understand, I figured it would take place next year. This will affect our December payment. So we have to do it now if we're going to do it.
So CVET, commercial vehicle excise tax, my thought process is to put it into the fire department. That extra little bit can help with maintenance, fuel, and those costs with those commercial vehicles.
In the past, 13.5% has gone to CUME, 17.5% has gone to fire, and 68.5% has gone to, or 68 point something or other, has gone towards township assistance.
So
We actually had nothing in May go to
Yeah.
township general.
my contention, obviously, with the current state of the federal government being shut down, we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in assistance requests. Obviously, it's back open. SNAP payments were made for November. It's always a busy last quarter when it comes to assistance requests, and even that carries into January. So I think we're probably, if it's up to you guys, but I would probably like to just see a split. I don't want to rob anything that we're already there. Maybe even a 50-50 split between assistance. I don't think we need any in general, which is why it's going to require a resolution from you guys so it doesn't go there. Obviously, putting it into the fire department, whether it be CUME, the fire, an EMS fund, or assistance, those are all restricted funds. So then that money wouldn't be subject to any other, like the road fund or anything. Those funds would be protected there. So that would be my recommendation that we do that.
So we're gonna, we can make a motion to split it 50 going to CUME, 50 to the fire department.
Whatever you want to do, yeah. That way, because as Sue said, as of right now, with this next tax disbursement, it would all go to general.
Right.
And we're not talking a ton of money,
Right.
but right now it would have to all go to general. So to keep it somewhat like we have it now, there would require a resolution from you on percentages and where you want it to go. I would say, at least for this December payment, looking over my budget year to date, I think it would probably best fit, just with everything going on, working on the new upfitting of the truck, things like that. A 50-50 split would be probably a good use of those funds.
You want it to township assistance
Township
and,
assistance and to fire and EMS fund would be probably my recommendation for a 50-50 split.
Okay. Do you guys have any discussion on this?
Questions?
Or questions?
we got $178 in May.
It's
So we're not talking lots of money.
Okay.
Just so you're not thinking we're talking thousands or anything, we're talking about.
I was
Yeah.
I was thinking it.
It's minimal money.
Okay.
Okay, that was my question was, is that gonna be the best thing to help the fire department?
Right now, I think yes, because it's in the fire and EMS fund. Obviously, there's a lot of different items that come out of there.
Right.
So
Okay.
we're not restricting it to township general, which we're fine in township general. That fund is fine this year. Like I said, we don't know what's going to walk through the door assistance request wise. So I would rather I watch those numbers very closely, budgetary numbers, to make sure that we're staying on task. So that'd be my recommendation. It's whatever you guys want to do.
All right. If we don't have any other discussions, I would make a motion to take the CVET money, the distribution, and split it 50-50, both 50% in the fire and EMS, and then 50% back into the township assistance.
That's correct.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
You second that? All in favor of that, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, which is 0.
Um,
Next item on the for new business is Speedway fleet to Wix.
Yep, so we've had significant billing issues with Speedway. It started in August. I've given them the benefit of the doubt. Sue has exhausted extensive resources trying to get it corrected. There's been an open case. It's improper billing. They'll send us an invoice on a Friday at 7 p.m. And then when they haven't gotten payment by Tuesday, which obviously we're writing them a check, when they haven't got a payment by Tuesday, they're tacking on a late fee. We're net 30 with them, so we have to call and we have to argue with them. August, September, they ended up removing those fees, but then it would generate the next invoice. And I told Sue, I said, if this continues, this is a waste of resources and time. There's other avenues. So I did some research at what would probably be the best option, and that's going to be Wix. Fuel man costs where Wix will not. Wix has a government program as well as obviously commercial for commercial fleet. We qualify for the government. I've got to call into them. I'm waiting on a return call. I've already got the application, and so there's no fee for that. We've currently obviously got 4 cars and they're assigned to people, not apparatus. I'll be moving that to a card per piece of apparatus, and then the individual people that are authorized to purchase fuel will have PIN numbers like Wix does. So it's just one of those layers of the onion that I've been working to streamline and enhance over the last 24 months or so. So that's where I'm at with that. It should be a break even, if not cost savings. I'll know hopefully more by the next board meeting. But my goal is to have it in place for January 1, if not sooner. So that's just ready to be done with Speedway and Superfleet. We've tried, like I said, we've called, and that's just kind of where that's at. So just more of an update.
On that Wix, where do we get fuel, or is it just?
Almost anywhere in town.
Almost anywhere.
So I did check into that. Both the 2 closest gas stations there to the station are available as well. So I'm just waiting to hear back if there's an advantage over using one particular station or another, cost savings or anything like that. So more to come on that, but I will be moving forward with that just to be more efficient and cost savings. So.
Any discussions on that? Questions? Next on our agenda is the fire department. Do you have any updates on the fire department?
So we have a we're waiting on the second estimate for the building. It looks like we have one in already on that.
And this is the storage building that we were.
No,
No, this would be an actual addition, like a 75-foot add-on to the current building.
Shane asked me if I was receptive to potentially adding on to the building, and I said I can't give you an honest answer or an educated answer until I have an idea of what something like that even costs. So I told
That's
him
to the south.
be to the north. Be to the north.
Towards the parking lot.
Correct. Basically adding another small bay, what he ideally would like to do, and by all means, correct me if I'm wrong, he wants to be able to put the brush truck and the chief's truck over there, potentially move the boat into the back, and then have the two ambulances. Basically, we're gonna get the boat. At this point, it would be like an either or for me. I don't know that we would do a storage building as well as in addition to the building, and I've not committed obviously to anything.
Sure.
But I'm always open and receptive to ideas and what that looks like. So it did receive one bid so far.
So on that, he's still
Or I should say
interested.
estimate, not
Yes.
not a bid.
Right.
Yes.
An estimate,
Yes.
exploratory.
So he did say that he was interested in the storage shed as well, because it sounds like possibly in that addition, building on like a classroom or some sort of that nature for inside trainings or firefighter 1 classes, stuff like that.
Okay.
So
just so you guys are aware, I've not brought it to you because it's in its infancy, it's in its exploratory. I told Shane to put a proposal together what he wants. And then that way we can have some discussion on it. If it gets to the point where yes, let's do this. Obviously, then we would go through the proper channels to put that out for a bid. A formalized bid with what we want.
Right.
That's a whole process. So this is more just an exploratory at this point. He asked me if it was something that was feasible, and I said, "Give me some information and what you're thinking, what it costs, things like that, to bring to you guys for discussion."
So I do have questions / concerns about that. I guess one is knowing the layout of that, having the bays extend to the north.
Mm-hmm.
You're one, parking
Correct.
for the members. 2, you're really only going to be able to go out by going north because towards the daycare.
Correct.
Because of the well and stuff like that.
Correct.
So would it be, I'm curious of how that would look, how that's going to function compared to if we were to build to the south.
So my thought process was when he approached me with it, let's get some ideas. Let's get some generalized costs before I even have an educated conversation with the board. I didn't want to waste your guys' time with it. If it's something, I'm just using radical numbers. If they come in and say, yeah, it's $500,000. That's
Right.
It's a no.
Right.
It's gonna be a dead issue at that point. So I have no idea what something like that would cost. And so I said, hey, it doesn't hurt to have some people come out and look at it and give them. Obviously, those wouldn't be formal. If something were to come to fruition like that, we would go through the proper process. I just want to reiterate, we'll go through the proper process to do that. But I guess we would call it an exploratory committee at this point. The fire department. I said, come to me with an educated ask, and I don't care if it's a rough sketch that you've done on grid paper, but give me an idea what you're wanting. I'm not asking for full architectural blueprints, and
Right.
you don't have to get that deep, but I didn't want to come with just, hey, they want to do this. That's give me some data
For sure.
to have a discussion. So that's where that's at. And I think he had somebody else come out, and he's just waiting to get a quote per se, a
Right.
generalized idea what that's looking like from them. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at on that.
That's one thing on that. I can you remember this Harley back, 15 years ago? We thought about going north,
Mhm.
doing okay.
Yeah.
We couldn't go out towards the daycare.
You have to be,
Set back.
that and you have to set back off the street.
Right. Gotta have enough. Yeah. Again, like I said, this is not putting a cart before the horse.
Right.
This is just strictly seeing if it's feasible,
Right.
getting a generalized idea, and then we can have some significant discussion in an executive session to discuss specifically that topic.
Sure.
Like I said, I'm always open. I'm not closed-minded when it comes to that. Anything that we can do that can enhance the service to the taxpayers, while still being fiscally responsible, I'm always willing to listen and look at ideas. So that's where that's at.
We have 4 people that are going to attend the firefighter 1 and 2 class.
Where's that being held at?
Taylor Township.
Awesome.
And then the only thing we got is one more door that's being installed from the past, so it should be installed this week.
To the where?
Interior.
Oh, okay.
It's been a holdover. There was some issue, doors were on back order or
Okay,
something.
gotcha.
So they're still.
We're gonna get that finished this coming week, so, and then we're just compiling plans for the year 26.
Very nice.
Brush truck update. I'm gonna have to go there tomorrow, Friday. Kind of where I'm at with the design. They were checking on the ability of getting silver leaf. Gold leaf's just I've got a vision of and it's flat and it looks, I get that. It won't be. I want it to look good, obviously. I will also be cost effective. Budgetary wise, they were going to see if they needed to reconfigure the estimate based on changing. I've been back to the fabricator for a customer bumper, so I don't know if we had the last board meeting. The bed is staying on. I don't know if
We
We
have,
talked about it.
it was an option.
yeah. So after getting quotes on what it would cost to modify the existing flatbed, because it's 4 inches narrower, so we were going to have significant tires sticking out. Updating it, getting it, we were going to be in like the $5,000 range. Easy math.
Right.
And that still left us with a 20-something-year-old flatbed. I look at staying safe, keeping the firefighters safe, while still being fiscally responsible with the tax dollars. So the decision was made to keep the bed on. I had a spray and liner put in it. I would have ordered that factory. We actually got it cheaper than what the factory MSRP on it was, so that was kind of a bonus. But I didn't want to put a liner in just to take the bed off and waste that money. So I had a spray and liner put in a couple weeks ago. Radios ordered. I ordered a Motorola refurb. It was half the price with a better warranty than Kenwood. So that was, Shane had asked for a new radio, or I shouldn't say new radio. He asked for a radio to be put in ambulance 22. It does not currently have a mobile unit. They were just strictly using portables. So I'm going to take the radio out of brush 21, put it in ambulance 22, put the new radio in the brush truck. Half console down on the floorboard, doing a siren light head, trying to keep it as simple as possible for the operators of it. Maybe literally flip a switch, push a button, or have siren and have lights. All of that is ordered. About 75% of it is in. So waiting on the console and the radio. Initial programming will not be done by him. It will be done by the Motorola radio person. That's a long geek explanation on that. I'm not going to get into that. So the upfitter requested that the graphics be done, specifically like the back tailgate, because they'll have the chevrons. I think I did send out the picture. I'll send you the most recent design where I'm at. Trying to do a subdued, be very reflective on that. They're still slated, as long as we can come to an approved design by the end of this week, it will be installed before the end of the year. They've obviously got to get material. It's not a standard, some of this, some of the reflective stuff, the chevron, it's not something that they typically stock because they don't do fire trucks every day. So they said they're on about a 2-week lead time, which isn't bad. Probably a 1 day install is what they were looking at. So we'll get that done. And then I was back at the metal fabricator on Friday last week. He took more measurements. It doesn't make sense to me to have a new 3500 that can't pull a trailer. Obviously, we're going to do a custom rear walk bumper, fabricated bumper. The proper way to do it is to extend the frame out, where then the hitch can still be bolted to the frame.
He's gonna take the bumper off.
Rear bumper comes off, scrapped. It'll be a custom made bumper. He's excited about the challenge. Gave me an initial estimate. He said it could be a little more, a little less. He's never made one. He said he likes a good challenge. I've given him a few pictures, and I told him I'm going to give him some better pictures when it's time to go. Bruceville's utilizing the walk-through bumper. There's some changes I want to make to their design, essentially what they've done, just after talk and a little bit of research. Multiple conversations actually. Be about a 2-foot walkway. It'll have a railing on the back that will be removable, so if we were to need to be able to get the skid unit out, we would have access. There'll be a tie-in point, so crews can wear ladder belts while they're on there to keep them safe. Shane was adamant he did not want crews to have to walk in the fields and stuff, and I agree wholeheartedly. It's safer if we can keep them contained. So that's what we're working towards there. I did ask the Z-Tech that put the spray and liner in. I asked him, I showed him pictures, said, hey, what's something like this look like to get rhino line? I intended to do powder coat. That rhino's tougher. And same price, maybe a little cheaper. So that's probably the route I'll go, because he said he said if I can bring it to him not on the truck, he will fully encapsulate it, which can help long-term underneath. It will probably be steel. Obviously the frame will be steel. I told him I was good if he wanted to do like a steel tread plate for the walk surface, because if we're rhinoing it, it's going to have grip. We worked through some different things. So he was checking with his metal suppliers. I actually offered to physically go to metal suppliers for him. He has limitations on delivery. Most metal comes in 24-foot sticks. He does not have a 24-foot trailer. I have access to one. So I told him, I said, there's a few different suppliers he uses in Indiana. One's up by South Bend, one's over, I think by Muncie. I said, if it's a logistics, let me know. I'll go happily pick it up to be able to move forward on the project. He said he's got like 3 different projects that he's waiting on material for. They wait until he's got a load, basically. Sure. It's cost effective. So that's where that's at. I would imagine, realistically, upfitting will commence in January, which is fine. I mean, it's the off season for the brush truck anyway. Donald asked me, right now there's a battery on the skid unit to power the engine for the starter on the gas motor. We're actually going to rewire that in, and it'll be tied into the truck battery, so we don't have to have a separate battery. I am doing a Kuzma auto eject. We don't need a full-blown Kuzma onboard charger. I'm going to do a NOCO just to keep that. Does it need it? Probably not, but it doesn't hurt. Just to keep the battery tip top, because it's not a piece of apparatus that goes out the door every day. Every other truck in the station has a auto eject and a battery maintainer, so we're going to do that.
Are we still looking at a plow as well, or are we tabling that for the time being?
I would say, obviously, it's not going to be ready for this season. Let's get it upfit. Let's see where we land total budget wise. I mean, obviously, we kind of set that initial budget. We're still there.
Okay.
Kind of my intention would be, let's look at it next summer. We've got the plow we can use on the chief truck to get us through this winter, and then kind of go from there. That'd be mine. I think long term, I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, look at it a little bit later. So that's really all I've got. That's pretty much it. Touched on about everything. Assistance cases have, of course, been steady. A little bit of an uptick here in the last month. Thankfully, they got the government back open, and SNAP payments We had contingency plans in place if the SNAP benefits didn't get loaded onto taxpayers' cards. I went to a couple meetings on specifically that food and what was going to happen, what people's plans were, and Kokomo Food Alliance. It was pretty educational, actually. Reached out to a couple other even bigger townships that deal with food frequently. One has a food pantry in township. They've got a food pantry. Had several conversations with them and had a contingency plan in place if we needed it. And so far we have not, so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, that's really all I've got.
Awesome. You guys have any other discussions or comments about anything?
You heard anything from Jordan on when he's about the growers doing the new thing with growers?
I need to circle back to him on that. I don't have an answer, but
I know my file broke where it won't stay on the key ring, so I have to carry it.
yeah,
Oh, you're talking about the department.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
yeah, and I still have that money's still slated there.
that's a pain.
Yeah, yep, that's.
I remember to put it where, you know.
And if I need to follow up with him, and if he's not, he's super busy. Obviously, he's running a campaign, so that's it. So, but I will follow up.
Is there a Christmas party?
For Christmas party, December 13th.
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
that's it. The
That is-
Saturday of the
So we got to write down, don't you?
Huh?
The Christmas party.
December,
12th or 13th.
It's the 13th.
I think it's the 13th.
oh, but I've got a date.
Um,
I don't have anything down.
We just
that I don't know. I assume.
Yes, I believe it's going to go through the next Congress.
I'll make sure it gets sent out to you.
Andy's house is going to be that morning as well.
Keep them safe. That's all I ask.
Right.
Keep them safe.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions or anything, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion we adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Next board meeting will be January 6th at 4:30.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction. 8 a.m. for the swear-in.
That's the state mandated
Yes.
That's the mandate.
first Tuesday,
Yes.
following the first Monday of the new year.
That's right.
Or
My
or
apologies.
president.
First Tuesday after the first Monday.
My apologies.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.